Hello guys, welcome back to another video on the channel. I'm super excited to have you guys here. I hope you're all doing well. So in this video, I'm going to be breaking down some trades I've taken over the week, over the month from my trades journal. I'm going to be breaking down trades on GBPUSD and I think AUDUSD or EURUSD. So I hope you guys are going to learn something from this video to implement in your trading. I'm also going to be sharing with you guys the confluences I look out for when I'm taking my typical setup and how you can begin to train your eyes to spot those kind of setups in the market. So before we get into the video, make sure you like, subscribe and share this video with your friends. Tell somebody about this channel who is interested in trading, self-development and lifestyle vlogs. I'm going to be giving you guys a lot of exciting content as we go on in the channel. So let's get right into the video. Yeah guys, so we can see on AUDUSD on the 4-hour time frame, we have seen that price just tapped into a higher time frame demand zone, and when the higher time frame demand zone has been mitigated, we can expect to see buys, right? So we will go to the lower time frame. I went down to the 1-hour time frame to look for a re-entry, because you know how I trade. I don't trade aggressively. I always wait for a confirmation entry so I can know if price is willing to continue in the trend or willing to continue in the direction of the mitigated order block. So what do we have here? This is our higher time frame demand zone. I'm just going to mark this out as our higher time frame demand. Okay, so this is going to be our higher time frame demand, MAND. All right, so price just mitigated the higher time frame demand. So now what can we see? We want to look for a change of character. A change of character tells us that price is willing to, shift trend from bearish to bullish, right? Because this was a bear move. We are selling off, as you can see here. Let me just show you guys. So we're selling off all the way down, Then we have mitigated this demand zone. So a change of character is going to mitigate here and then move all the way up. So you guys can see already, this is our change of character. Price took out this high. Now the two most important high and lows, right, when trading SMC is the high before your POI was mitigated and the low after it was mitigated. The low is going to give you the change of character where you can start looking for your entries. So right now we can see, we'll just name this our trend change or the change of character. And then what else can we see? After we have labeled that price has changed direction from bearish to bullish, now we can see all of this imbalance and this fair value gap. I told you guys in the previous video about FVGs, about imbalance, and when you see a fair value gap, you should expect to see an order block beside it. So you guys can see this little indecision candle right here. So this is going to be our newly created demand zone, and we're going to play price to see how price comes. Okay, so that was a bit fast. So let's go to the lower time frame, like the 15. So unfortunately, price invalidated this demand zone here, right? So this was where we were supposed to take our change of character from, but this zone got invalidated. Now I was still observing price to see what the market was trying to tell me, right? After this demand zone got invalidated, price said buying impulsively. So although this demand zone got broken, when I saw the impulsive buying candles, I knew that buyers were in this market, and then the price was willing to continue bullish, right? Even though this demand zone was broken, this is understanding market sentiment, right? These 4 large candles tells you buyers are engaged in this market. There's a lot of buying pressure. So I went to the 15 minutes time frame, right? The 5 minutes time frame rather, and then I started to look for my entry points. Price had broken this low, right, giving us a break of this low, and also broke this high here, giving us another break of structure to the upside. So now price has shown us that there's a lot of buying pressure and there's probability that we can expect to see buys. Now can you see all of this imbalance here that price made and this indecision candle behind it? This is now our order block, right? So can you see how everything is coming together? I taught you guys about order blocks, fair value gaps in the last video. Can you see how I'm piecing everything together? After I understood the higher time frame trend is bearish, but we just mitigated a 4-hour demand zone, we saw another demand zone to give us a change of character, but price invalidated the demand. We now waited, right, for price to see what price was doing and what the market was telling us and the sentiment. I saw that a lot of buyers were engaged in this price action. Then I knew it was time to look for my buying opportunities. price broke structure to the downside, give another break of structure to the upside, confirming that price is willing to continue bullish. Then I marked out my demand zone, and let's replay price. The next thing I want to see is engineered liquidity. So we can see this low here. This can be our liquidity. So I'm just going to label this liquidity, right? And let's see how price comes to the zone. So price was trading up, making series of higher highs and higher lows, and then we saw a retracement. Price came close to this liquidity point, and then this was where I started to look for my entries, and I already placed my limit order here, my buy limit. It was about a 19 pip stop loss, and my take profit was at the most recent high. So it was like a 1 to 3 hour trade, and let's see how price played out. So price kept consolidating, kept trading downwards, and then finally we got a mitigation in this trade, and then let's see how price played out. So price kept going up, making series of higher highs and higher lows. I didn't want to stress going to the lower time frame to look for a re-entry. I was satisfied with this position and just wanted to see it play out fully. So price, it was a bumpy trade, honestly, I can't lie, because it was going all the way up and down, impulsively go up, impulsively come down like it's going to my stop loss. But I was stoic on this trade because I knew that my analysis was correct, and I was just waiting for the probabilities to play out. The price continued trading, making a series of higher highs, consolidating at some point. I was still in this trade regardless, and then boom, my final TP got hit, guys. So it was a very, very simple trade. Higher time frame was bearish. We tapped into a higher time frame demand zone, insisting a change of trend. Then price mitigated another demand zone, broke the demand zone, and then we started to look and observe. We were not doing anything. We're not trying to impulsively place trades. And then I saw the sentiment in the market that there were a lot of buyers in the market, and I knew it was safe to take buy trades. I knew it was safe to take buy setups. So I was waiting after the mitigation of that demand. I now looked for another order block, a fair value gap behind it, where I could take my entry from. After the mitigation, price started trading all the way up, consolidating, making a series of higher highs and higher lows, and my final TP got hit, guys. So it was a fairly straightforward trade, nothing too much, just market structure, order blocks, imbalance, liquidity, and we are good to go. So this was how I caught a 1 to 3 weeks reward on AUDUSD. And it was a very mad trade, I can't lie. So everything here is real, guys. I also take losses. I'm going to be backtesting my losses with you guys as well. I'm going to show you guys my trade journal. I don't always take wins every day, guys. There are days where it's a losing day, it's a losing week, right? Heck, I even had a break-even month. Like I had losses, break-even, but one trade took all of those losses, put me at break-even, and eventually put me at profit. So that's just the beauty of risk to reward when trading any system. Right, guys, so the next trade we are going to be breaking down, the trade I took was on GBPUSD. So obviously from the higher time frame and from market structure, you can see that price is bearish. If I go to the daily time frame, the market has been making a series of lower lows, right? From here, you can see from here price broke this structure, and then from here price has been selling downwards, and then you can see there is a demand zone here on the higher time frame. So on the daily time frame, price is bullish, right? But on the lower time frame, you can see the bearish movement, the bearish leg, that price from here, after price broke this low, it started selling all the way down. So once price gets to this higher time frame demand zone on the daily time frame, then we can start looking for buy trades. But since we are day traders, we can take advantage of the correctional movement in the market. So how did I get this really nice trade? If I go to the 1 hour time frame, you guys can see this is a very clear supply zone. Why? Because price broke structure to the downside, and what makes a supply zone valid, or what makes an order block valid, is that it breaks structure, and then what breaks the structure must be an impulsive move, giving us a fair value gap, and then there must be an origin that caused the break of structure. And where's our origin? Is this order block here, this nice indecision candle. So I was waiting for price to tap this supply zone on the 1 hour time frame, then I can look for my change of character on the 15 or the 5 minutes. So I'm just going to replay price, and let's see how price tapped and traded into that zone. All right, so I was patient waiting for a setup. I didn't see anything. So until price had mitigated this zone, then I was going to start looking for my buyers. So what do we have here? We have a really nice mitigation, and not just a mitigation, a weak rejection, telling us that sellers are in the market. And if you understand candlestick patterns, you can see here that this is an evening star pattern formation, right? So I'm just going to break down to my 15 minutes time frame. Yeah, this is where I took my entry. So number one is price is in a bearish market, right? On the lower time frame, we are looking for sales, right? And price just tapped into a higher time frame supply, but we did not go in aggressive. We went to the lower time frame to look for a change of character after price tapped into this higher time frame supply. So I'm just going to label this so you guys can see. This is our higher time frame supply. All right, our higher time frame supply zone that price just mitigated. Now, I said there are two important highs and lows in the market, right? The two most important highs is the high price creates before tapping into your POI, and the low price creates after tapping into your POI. These are the two most important highs and lows you need to pay attention to when trading SMC. So what was the high price created before tapping into our POI? Was this high right here. So we're going to label this as our last break of structure before the mitigation happened. And then after price mitigated, what was the last low price created after mitigating our higher time frame supply? Is this low right here. So this is going to be our change of character. This tells us that price is now shifting trend from bullish to bearish. There's going to be a market structure shift from bullish to bearish. And what can we expect? We can expect to see more selling pressure in the market. So you guys already know the drill. When you see a fair value gap, it's most likely that there's an order block behind it, and I'm sure you guys can already spot it from the lesson from the other video. You can see this is our order block because this was the origin that caused this break of structure, right? This was the origin that caused this break of structure. So I now saw this trade and I started to look for price to retrace back into it, but I wanted to see levels of liquidity, right? These are part of the confluences I look out for. I never take a trade if there's no liquidity sweep. That's one of my confluence, and I don't break that rule. So I was looking for liquidity to be engineered, and if you guys can see, I already taught you guys about liquidity in the other video. Can you see this is an equal high liquidity. So this is an equal high liquidity price created, and for retail traders, this is a sign to what sell. They are looking for sales for the market when they see a double top, but as SMC we see them as liquidity for price to go to our intended direction. After I saw this liquidity was engineered, I didn't even waste time, guys. I started to set my limit order. I started to set my limit order, and then let's replay price to see how this happened. So retail traders have sold, they're in profit, they're happy, and then what happened? Boom, they got manipulated and price tapped into my POI. I already set my limit and the trade triggered me in, and let's see how this beautiful trade played out, guys. Beautiful setup. So price almost stopped me out. I can't lie, I was scared. But yeah, you just have to be stoic when you know your strategy, when you know your plan, and when you know what you have seen in the market. You just have to trust your analysis, trust yourself, and allow your probability to play out. So let's continue replaying price. Then we started to have massive drops. Sellers came into the market. There was a lot of selling pressure. So let's replay price and see how this trade played out. Amazing trade. I don't think there was an opportunity for a re-entry, so I didn't even stress, right? And then price started to retrace, and then it kept going down impulsively. Then there was an opportunity, and boom, it was how our take profit got hit, guys. So it was a fairly straightforward trade. We waited for a mitigation on the higher time frame supply zone. We waited for a change of character, telling us that price is willing to change from bullish to bearish, and then we waited for what our liquidity to be engineered, the equal highs. Price swept the liquidity, tapped into our point of interest, and then sold down all the way off. Nice trade, beautiful trade analysis, guys. So like I said, these are just like cherry picked trades from my many trades I've taken from my journal. This is my trading journal over here. I've been trading and documenting everything here. So guys, there are losses. Like, I've taken a lot of losses, in this period of, so don't think I only take wins every day and every trade I break down here is only wins. No guys, there was a time where I was losing back to back for a week, right? So it happens when you're trading the financial market, but what keeps you profitable is your edge and a good risk reward system, which I'm going to be talking about later in the channel. So we have come to the end of today's video. I hope you guys learned something. I hope you guys took something from this video, how I trade, how I look at the market, how you too can begin to analyze the chart from the higher time frame down to your entry time frame. My typical multi-time frame analysis is from the daily to the 4 hour to the 1 hour to the 15 or to the 5 minutes where I take my entry. So it's been a nice video so far, so please be sure to like, subscribe, tell me your thoughts in the comment section. I'll be reading. I really want to connect with you guys. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you guys in the next.